Oh, a little you buying that? We're going to go to Lou first on this one because we got a Paul Pierce quote. We always do. He says, Jayson Tatum is underappreciated because he plays for the most hated franchise in all of sports. Do you buy that?
No, I ain't buying that one. I ain't buying that one. We loved Isaiah Thomas. We loved Kyrie. We loved Kevin Garnett. We loved you.
Oh, we did.
We loved the Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen. These were all guys that we loved in the Boston Celtics uniforms. Then they got their flowers. I'm probably missing another 20 guys. Like one of the more historic franchises in the history of the NBA, and we've celebrated a lot of these guys. I just think Jayson Tatum is an easy target for people to mess with because he doesn't say a lot in the media, and he's very mild-mannered, and he's a professional. And we tend to poke at those type of guys who don't really have a lot to say. I don't think it has anything to do with the Boston Celtics. I think media has found an angle to poke at a bear to see what they can get out of him and what they can use as clickbait material, and the fans have followed it up by doubling down on it. But I don't think this is anything to do with the Celtics franchise at all.
I do think the Celtics, the franchise, are probably pretty hated in the whole wide world of sports, but I don't know if the two are related here. He also had more to say, by the way. He said that he does not believe that Luka and LeBron are the best duo in the game right now, that it is still very much Brown and Tatum. Chandler, are you buying that?
This season, it's close. I mean, it's crazy to put a 40-year-old in the best duo, but I mean, Luka and LeBron are pretty tough to beat. I think consistently over the last couple of years, it's Tatum and Brown, just the versatility, the wins, the championship. That is a hell of a duo. So you can argue either way. This year, the way they're defending and for the Lakers, and now adding Luka, it's obviously fresh. They haven't played together that long, but that's a tough duo to beat. I mean, there's Giannis and Dame. There's a bunch out there, but I kind of agree with him on this one. I mean, Tatum and Brown, to me, are probably the most solid, consistent, best duo in the NBA.
It's a small sample size right now.
I agree with him on this one. Absolutely.
That's kind of almost insulting to just throw them above them. They've been together for 20 minutes. Like, let's just give it a second. Lou, Robert Horry said that LeBron would win MVP if he got the calls that SGA gets. You buying that?
No, I'm not buying. LeBron doesn't even have that style of game. And there was once a point where LeBron was getting fouled a lot in his career, but that was him coming downhill, putting pressure on your defense, forcing you to stop him from getting to the basket, and as a result, you had to foul him. I think now Shea has just mastered a part of the game where fans don't necessarily like it, but it's a smart way to play. Like, if I can get 2 easy free throws from you reaching in the cookie jar and slowing down the game and putting 2 points on the board without the clock moving, then I'm gonna use that to my advantage. But their games are different. I don't see what more LeBron could do to put himself in this conversation that he's already in besides what he's doing. So, no, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, he's not the type of player like Joel Embiid will hunt fouls. Luka, Jalen Brunson, these kind of guys, like James Harden, SGA, they have mastered, like Lou said, they have a craft, they have a skill set to get to the free throw line. LeBron doesn't play like that. LeBron head down, he creates the contact, but he's not looking for fouls like this. So I disagree with this.
All right, Chandler, you're up next. Former NBA player Theo Pinson said Steph Curry's not the greatest point guard of all time because he's not a true point guard. Are you buying that he shouldn't be considered the GOAT because of that? And by the way, just side note, yesterday's YouTube chat, people were mingling, had Magic above Steph at all time point guard.
No, I disagree with this fully. I think he's the best point guard, and I think he's been a starting point guard his entire career, and Klay Thompson's been the 2 guard. So it's hard to say he's not a point guard when he's legitimately played that position his entire career. Yes, is he the greatest shooter of all time? Can he play 2 guard and play off the ball and come off all these screens and staggers and flare screens? Yes, but Steph Curry is a point guard. He brings the ball up the majority of the play. He initiates the offense. He's been the starting point guard for the Golden State Warriors his entire career. So you can't just, because of his excellent ability to shoot the basketball, put him as a shooting guard. He's a point guard, and he is the best point guard of all time.
Yeah, I don't think I get this argument, Lou.
I get the sentiment, like, yes, technically he is a point guard.
Yeah.
But when you think about point guards, you think about setup guys. You think about somebody who's facilitating the offense, who's a quarterback on the floor. That's not really Steph Curry. Steph Curry identifies more as much as a point guard as Allen Iverson was. Like, yeah, you're the point guard. You're the guy that's bringing the ball up the floor. But in essence, you're a shooting guard. So I agree with some of this. he's still going to go down as one of the greatest point guards in the game. He's not going to be recognized much as a shooting guard, even though that's kind of the way that he played. He played like Allen Iverson. You know, he was one of the guys that was going to play off the ball. So even though he initiated the offense, he didn't really set up and facilitate the offense. And so when these arguments happen, guys just want to be technical. They want to find an angle to argue and debate about something. But he is going to go down as one of the greatest point guards in the game.
Well, and look at all the the great point guards right now: Dame Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Luka. Like they're all technically off guards too. They're shooting,
just
scoring,
changed a
but
bit.
they're point guards. So
Right.
they're point guards.
Okay, fair enough. Lou, you're up next on this one. This one, there is a fix for this next one, by the way. Kevin O'Connor wondering if the NBA should even have the play-in for some of these teams that are so below 500, like Sixers, Bulls, and Nets. Are you buying that the teams way below 500 should even be eligible? And P.S., you can fix it easily. Go.
I hate the play-in. I hated it when I hated it. Yeah, I hated it when it started. So I'm buying. I'm buying because look, because you have teams, you got teams that are in 6th and 7th place, and you got a team that's fighting to get to 10th place, and you still got to prove yourself to them. Like, I was good enough all year to put myself in this position. I have one bad game or one bad week, and I'm out of the playoffs. Hey, I agree. So should teams below 500 shouldn't be in the play-in? I agree with them.
Well, you should re-rack them because the Mavs are in 10th and they're 32 and 31.
And
so
even
fix it.
the Heat are 7th. They're 3 games under 500. So either way, there's going to be teams in the playoff that's under 500.
That's what I'm saying. But if you just redid and got rid of these conferences when it comes time to playoffs, we wouldn't have.
But also, like,
right
think about the Orlando Magic. They've had such a great year. They've been burned with injuries, and then all of a sudden, you're right. The Chicago Bulls get healthy at the right point, beat them in a game, and then the Magic season is just a wash because of 2 March Madness type games. I get the frustration with it. But also, I kind of love the plan, and I love the intensity of it. I love the do or die.
You've gotten used to it.
But it is messed up that the 10th spot in the West is a game above 500, and the 10th spot in the East is like 14 below 500. That's stupid.
And you also can't get rid of conferences, Beadle. You don't want to see a Portland-New York matchup in the first round.
Sure, I do.
Fly in 6 hours for a game in 48 every 48 hours.
I've been on those planes. It's nice. Even for me with my Xanax, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I was about to say, imagine you having to having to do those games.
Yeah, sneak a little wine in. Just figure it out. Some planes are cooler than others. I don't know. I just feel like when there's such a discrepancy between the two conferences, it really is glaring at that point. Chandler, Tim Bontemps suggested that Anthony Davis go ahead and just sit the rest of this bad boy out, and then Dallas should trade him this summer, which would make him quite literally one and done in Dallas.
That'd be crazy if he only played 3 quarters in Dallas after all this, and that's all you get for the Luka trade. Again, this season, maybe, with Kyrie now out, with everything that's at stake with him. But again, like we discussed this yesterday, they still have enough, depending on when the P.J. Washingtons, the Gaffers, the Liveleys, they can come back, play. If Anthony Davis can play, and this isn't something that's going to linger and require something more serious this offseason that's going to linger in the next season, then play. But big picture for this team, big picture for Philly is looking to next year, to re-signing Kyrie Irving, getting him healthy, getting this team ready, and then you go into next season with positive juju and vibes going that you can actually compete for a championship.
What if that's the one picture, the only picture of him and a Dallas?
To trade it, again, nothing would surprise me, I guess, at this point. The NBA is bananas, but I can't see that happening. You don't acquire a player like this. And then maybe, who knows, maybe they go full tank and acquire some young assets and picks or whoever, but I don't see it happening maybe this year, but to trade him this summer, that'd be pretty crazy.
I mean, anything can happen, Lou. All right, Lou, you get the last one. While discussing this actual trade behind me here, Jeannie Buss took I guess it was a jab, but honestly, she said it with her own face.
It was a bit of a zinger, though.
Well, she said that Anthony Davis had been complaining about where he was being played, and we all know he did not want to be a center. So are you buying that he's complaining, or concerns were valid?
His concerns were valid, and he even had proof to back it up. They won a championship when he was the 4. So why would you play me at the 5 when this isn't working, when I'm getting banged up? Everybody is talking about my injury history. You got me playing out of position, and the one time that I do voice my concerns in the public, I get traded for it. And this is a year after LeBron James said this was my team, and the one time that I have something to say, you get rid of me. I feel like his concerns were valid. If that was something that was bothersome to him, and if he was committed to winning, like I feel like he was, he makes a valid point. Listen, we won a championship when I was the 4. Let's get back to that style of play, especially if this isn't working. So I'm rolling with AD on this one.
Yeah, I don't think this was like, there was never rumors about him being unhappy. There was never rumors about trade. It's not like this is Phoenix where there's all these, this guy's got to go, this guy's got to go. This is just one sit down I think he did. And
he said,
I think where I'm better off playing the 4, which is my natural position, which again, that makes sense to me. Seemed a little out of left field here, but again, I never felt that he wanted out. Never felt like he was complaining. I think he literally just wanted to play his natural position and felt the team was better off with acquiring a big man.
Well, he might have been complaining behind the scenes after he said it out loud. I mean, we have no idea. But it is, look, at least she said it. It's not a bunch of leaks about he's fat and he likes to smoke and drink beer. Like, that's, at least they're not doing that. So, well played, Ms. Buzz. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, more Run It Back.
Run it back, run it back, run it up, run it back.